Hey everybody, I'm TJ Major, spotter of the 6 Cup car, the 8 Xfinity this weekend, in lovely Darlington, Brett's favorite racetrack.
Man, you were talking fast right there.
I know.
How long you been up this morning?
He said he
Us
wants
at
to
the
get out.
6:30 a.m.
He said he's in a hurry to get to a
Did
meeting.
you drink
Yeah.
a 5-hour energy or something? What did y'all drink at Choice at
but
RFK
Freddie,
these days?
Freddie drank some yesterday,
No, I didn't.
last night.
Nah.
Some energy
He-
drinks?
Yeah, we're going to discuss this a little bit later.
Uh-oh.
He smells like a Jaeger bomb or
I
something.
smell like probably a brewery. I got out of the shower. I was like, I feel like you know how
You took a shower? Never
yes.
know it.
You feel like, you know how you're like, I feel like I still stink.
Was it a
like,
shower of beer?
it might have been.
Can confirm you still stink. And then we'll
Brett
all right.
Griffin, spotter for Chandler Smith. I was couch racer this weekend, and a lake boy that got bit by a bunch of bugs.
That is confirmed. Like,
I mean, we're
your
not really
arm
sure what that is.
Looks ridiculous. Freddie Kraft, spotter for Bubba Wallace, Chandler Smith this weekend. Hi, Casey.
Hello, Casey Boat here, your marketing professional.
Are you late to your
and
real job as much as you are this
I
podcast?
know. Does this
I-
count
For
as
the
a
record,
job?
Freddie stole my front row spot.
That's
and
because you were
the
both
lights
late.
were out right by
They were
ourselves.
also out for me, and I still got here. On
Yeah.
Okay, well, you don't have a 3-year-old.
You know that whole thing where you look at the clock and say, okay, I should leave 5 minutes early in case something happens. You probably should think about that.
I tried to.
You don't have a 3-year-old, but I do see there's a new member of the Griffin family.
There is. Cookie Dough Griffin has joined the
Cookie
family.
Dough?
Jack Russell,
What?
7 weeks
Oh.
old, cutest puppy ever, and it is holy hell in my house. It's terrorizing my other dogs.
I was just thinking what you needed was another animal over there.
Yeah, I mean, you needed something else, that's for sure.
Cookie dough.
Cookie Dough.
Cookie dough.
He
Cookie
go-
dough.
She goes by Cookie. But Bodie says it Cookie.
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 I want some milk and cookie.
Cookies.
Your poor
I'm in
wife.
agonizing pain from this sunburn. I don't know if
No,
I'll be
it's
able
her
to
dumb
make
ass idea.
Why did-
so it is not my poor wife.
Did you not wear sunblock?
Well, I put some on, but I don't think I reapplied was the issue.
How red is it?
It's pretty red. I mean,
Take your shirt off. Let's see.
I'm feeling pretty red.
You probably absorb more sun than everybody else around you.
Yeah, it's probably accurate.
Hey, just
I was
think of
probably
the-
blocking the sun.
I would
for
know.
most
Think
people with me.
about the help you were to the others.
Yeah, it's just
Shady.
being a good Samaritan.
Were you
Yeah.
at Cocktail Cove?
I was a Cocktail Cove, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
On the outskirts. I was not I felt like I was near Cocktail Cove. I wasn't actually in Cocktail Cove.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
out
yeah?
parked behind Larry Mack's house.
not in the warm water over there. Where the water gets a little warmer.
A little warmer over there for
I'm
sure.
going to tell you, so when TJ and I used to go to Cocktail Cove,
I don't even want to think about it.
you never knew what was going to float by. I'm talking tampons, condoms, you literally.
There's a
Am
guy-
I lying? Am I lying?
there's-
Am I lying?
I didn't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about
There
it.
was a guy there yesterday. They get somebody must have a party barge that they rent out now. I'm like,
They
what a
do, they
phenomenal
do.
idea.
Yeah.
It's got a bathroom on it.
Wow.
They were talking about some of my
Well,
buddies were talking about
it's-
swimming over there.
So I didn't know this, but on Lake Norman, it is illegal to have liquor on your boat if you don't have a bathroom and a downstairs cabin. So you're only permitted by law to have
So
beer and
surely
wine.
you just got rid of the liquor, I assume.
I stopped taking it on the boat altogether. Yeah, I just 86'd all the Tito's that I normally take out there. But I had no idea. I was Googling
I didn't know
something
that either.
with boating laws on Lake Norman, and I'm like, I'm just going to act like I
So
didn't
what
read
do you
this.
do when you leave the Cocktail Cove? Do you start emptying your bathroom on the way back to the marina?
Oh,
I mean,
that's nasty.
We had
tell
a
me you
deal-
didn't get in the water because you can't get in that water here.
Did I get in the water?
Yes.
Yeah, I was in the
Oh
water.
God, Freddie.
That
That ain't liquor we smell.
We had a funny deal. We were at not yesterday, but we were in what's that? The sandbar they call it. And there's
Yeah,
1,000
yeah.
boats tied up out there. And right in the middle was this boat of kids. And the cops.
When you
would-
say kids, what do you mean?
I'm talking. They appeared to be 21, but turns out at the end of the story they were not. So. You know how the cop boat will come, the sheriff will come
Oh, yeah.
rolling through. It just kind of rolls through and just make sure
Takes a
everybody's
look,
not
yeah.
being stupid. Well, as the sheriff rolls through, these kids, you might have been out. No, I think it was Doug, I guess. These kids just start firing cans off of their boat, in a garbage bag, and just dump the just dump the garbage bag full of cans out into the lake. And the cops are like, turns out they weren't 21, so
They were getting rid of all the
getting
cans.
evidence. Well, then the cops you follow me out of here, and then they're going to take care of when they get them out of there. And of course, as soon as they pulled out, the guy that had the biggest speaker in the group played the cops theme, Bad Boys or whatever, and they're getting towed out of there to get locked up, probably, God knows what. But yeah, I'm like, well, all you had to do was just act cool for a second. But these kids just started rifling
They're
beer
not
cans
even
off of their bar.
Yeah, they're not even zoning in on you. They're
No,
just
they're
looking
just-
for
just
something
making
way out
sure
of place.
nobody's being
They're looking
stupid.
for you to do something stupid. And
Yeah.
congratulations.
You did it.
You're a winner.
One idiot Hall of Fame right there.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Anyway, do we have a race this week?
We do, but let's not forget, this entire episode is brought to you by Birch Gold Group. You can get a free info kit on gold by texting DBC to 989898.
The crowd goes wild.
If
Hang
you
on,
place
guys.
an
Let's
order,
take a minute here and
whatever.
congratulate. Good
And
job.
I'm trying to learn another language to say it next week. Don't worry, guys. If you place an order by October 31st, you can get a free gift card to score some Dirty Mo merch up to $500. And honestly, I need that. So maybe we could set that up for me too. Check out the link in our show notes, and you'll figure it all out there.
Show notes.
They don't see our show notes.
Yes,
it
they
is.
do.
Like
They do?
No, like
Yeah.
In
the
the
Like,
details.
like if you go to the
like,
podcast, there's notes there.
Yeah, not the
nice.
whole sheet.
We're going to ship it to them.
Yeah, we
You sure
sent
that's
it
not
to
poison
everyone.
ivy?
Here, guys.
I don't know what it is.
It looks like poison ivy.
I don't think it is.
But you have the same thing.
Were you in the woods?
I don't think
I'm
so.
highly allergic to poison ivy. So
I don't think so.
So then,
Well,
do
you don't
have,
think so? No, don't do that.
TJ, do you have bed bugs then? If he has poison ivy,
I
because
don't
you
know.
have the
Maybe.
exact same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
You want a
His-
hug?
It's
Oh.
not. His is a lot
We got
different.
to sanitize your chair afterwards.
Y'all are
It's not poison ivy.
disgusting wherever you
It
guys
don't
have
look,
been.
I mean, it looks like bug
We
bites.
never anything that itched.
Anyways,
Freddie, go ahead, Freddie. Say it.
I'm not saying
well,
Freddie perked right up.
I was nope. Moving on. How was Darlington, folks?
Yep. Kyle Larson sure had a great time
In the
after
cup
winning
race.
there. Yeah. Maybe not the other one, but we managed to get the race in with the lights going out. What
They
in
didn't
the
go out. They never
world-
came on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Fair.
We were used to it by the time they stopped the race. I mean,
So what was the radio chatter by the drivers like?
nothing.
So I didn't say, I don't know about you,
I could tell.
but I mean, obviously we knew it. But
Oh,
there was
yeah.
a couple guys trying to manipulate it to get a caution. Like they were running long, hoping to catch a caution.
Yeah.
And
And
that was Christopher too.
Christopher, the 48 was another one. And I'm like, well, I'm not mentioning this on the radio until they
No.
pit. Like once they pit, then I'll ask Bubba, like, can you see? And to Bubba's credit, I said, are you, after the 48 was the last one to pit, he pit. I said, are you good with the situation in 3? And he said, yeah, no problem.
Same thing.
And then when I said the yellow, I said, all right, the yellow's out now for those lights not being on. And Bubba's like, the lights aren't on?
Yeah, it was. It was. Don't get me wrong. It was dark,
Yeah.
like short track dark somewhere. But it wasn't like even Brad said it was. They were already running against the fence. It wasn't affecting the drivers at all.
Yeah.
I think Joel was very happy that the lights went out.
Joel's always happy. What do you mean?
He's like, we come here twice a year, and all we need is the bathrooms to work and the lights to stay on. So did y'all have bathroom
no-
issues too?
I don't think so.
Not that I know of.
We had a bee issue for a little bit. Like there's a
Oh, he
Yeah.
was
there's
bitching about bees
There's a bit
too.
of a bee issue.
I got stung.
The
What?
Yeah, I got stung right before Xfinity practice. Just right as they were getting ready to roll out, I got stung. Yeah, out of nowhere. Didn't even give me a chance to fight him. Like it was. He was.
Did
telling
they
me to
come
left.
spray him after that?
We had other issues. before,
there's
like,
a lot of issues up there this
The,
weekend.
the I don't know. if
TJ
we-
shit on the railing. I think it looked
There was like
What?
Or maybe
it looked like
maybe
there
a
was
bird.
like a million birds perched up there.
That
like
sounds sanitary.
oh terrible, like
Yeah.
worst I've ever seen in 19
I bet Eddie
years.
DeHaan was going crazy
Did they?
because he hates bird shit on
Did
the
they
rail.
ever come? Like
No.
they were supposed to come.
No,
Saturday
they were supposed
night,
to
right?
come Saturday night. You couldn't touch anything because it was
without
all
touching bird?
Oh yeah, it was so bad.
Wow.
The
It
guy
is
I
really
feel
bad.
bad for during that light thing, we should probably send him a new pair of shoes, was Chip Wild, because he walked all 500 miles behind the spotter stand, pacing back and forth, trying to figure out that light situation.
Oh, to where we're supposed to park?
No, I'm talking down but down by the bathroom down there. Like,
Oh
he
yeah,
was- he
yeah.
was
Oh, he
just-
didn't walk all the way over the
no,
scene.
he was
Oh,
just
okay.
he was just
No, I
walking
should've
back
known
and
better.
forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should they have stopped the race for it? Was it bad enough?
I didn't understand why I got it. They did what they thought they were supposed to do, which was wait until the pit cycle. They didn't let anybody gain an advantage of it. But I mean, I don't know that we needed to stop. Like there was some,
I don't
obviously
think
like
so.
Bubba didn't seem to mind, and there were some guys that were crying about it. But I think they were also people that wanted a caution,
benefit
you know?
from it, yeah.
So like I thought they were. I mean, we ran like that forever. Like
Yeah, there was. It was dark, but it wasn't so dark where you like?
It was just the inside lights. So the track lights on the outside were working. The ones that are in the infield that shine back up on the racetrack were the ones that weren't
a natural
working.
caution. I would have stopped to fix it.
Yeah.
Then, but I wouldn't have thrown the yellow to fix it for no reason.
Right.
Like if there was a natural yellow, sorry guys, we're gonna fix this problem now, because if at any, it's gonna be no different than you're gonna have guys like Freddie said. You're gonna have guys that they see this as an advantage or their car. You know what I mean? They're fading, they're hurting, so they want a caution, which is not. To me, that's not the right time to throw it at that point. But if there was a natural caution, I think you fix it then.
Yeah. Which I'll have plenty of those later.
It's a shame
too, in
that
the cup
nobody
race.
thought about like turning them on Saturday to make sure they worked or anything.
Surely they did.
I mean, you would hope so.
I don't know.
You got one job: test the lights.
I feel like it was just Kerry messing with everybody on his way out the door. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? This is his last race. Kerry Tharp, the
Commander.
former president.
So Kerry came from, listen, he had a 20-plus year collegiate career before he came into NASCAR.
Yeah.
And he started with NASCAR Communications, and he's somebody that I've known and looked up to and admired for a long time. So good to see him go out as the Darlington track president. He had a lot of South Carolina ties. He did a lot to help that racetrack get people back into the stands. He did a lot to get college kids to the racetrack. He and I actually had a conversation about that a while back in Pocono before he did it. So going to miss that guy and hopefully still see him around some.
Yeah, for sure.
Does your paycheck stretch as far as it used to? Most likely it doesn't. But you can help hedge against inflation by diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold, an asset that has stood the test of time.
Birch Gold Group has helped tens of thousands of Americans protect their retirement savings with physical precious metals. Now you can too. Get a free info kit on gold right now by texting DBC to 989898. Fill out a brief form, then speak to one of their representatives so they can personalize your free, no obligations info kit.
Plus, only for listeners of Dirty Mo Media podcast, when you place your order by October 31st, you can get a gift card up to $500 to purchase Dirty Mo Media and Junior Motorsports merchandise. You can use that for race gear, autographed collectibles, shirts, hats, and much more.
But you can only get this gift card by texting DBC to the number 989898, filling out the brief form, speaking to one of their representatives, then buying from Birch Gold by October 31st.
With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, you're in good hands with Birch Gold. So get started now. Text DBC to 989898.
What about all these problems playoff drivers had? First race of the playoffs?
Well, there's
and-
16 of them, so that's half. I
Fair.
mean, there's this.
But I feel like, between Denny's loose wheel and I thought Harvick had a shot at the win and then pitting under caution.
Did Denny have a loose wheel?
I don't.
He said he had a loose wheel.
But
I heard there was
it-
no signs of a loose wheel, though.
That's hard. Are you talking Denny right now?
No,
Oh.
no. I'm
Sounded
just saying.
like
Well,
it.
I mean,
Ooh,
it's just,
he gonna be mad.
I mean, he obviously felt something. Lambert said
When's your contract up?
Lambert said it. I'm good for you. I'm locked in. Yeah, I mean, he can still fire me. I'm sure at any point he wants to. But Lambert said it's like it threw sparks leaving pit road for some
I
reason.
saw it. I saw it.
I didn't see that, but then getting on the elevator, I asked Lambert. I said, "Did you have a loose wheel?" He said, "Well, Danny said he felt a loose wheel, but Gaypart said there was no signs of a loose wheel, which doesn't mean there wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
who knows what the situation was? But that hit the 19 had a loose wheel, I think, at one point yesterday. The 20 had a bad pit stop, and he got in the fence. Like all the
Sunday.
JGR cars were. Sunday, yeah. The JGR cars were. I think I seen some crazy stat, which I think we bring up later, but. Like they were fast as hell and I don't think any of them
They
finished
led
in the
all but
top.
like 70 laps of
Yeah,
the race.
and then none of them
Yeah.
finished in the top 15.
Yeah.
I saw when Denny was leaving his stall that he took off and stopped almost immediately, and then he backed up. I think.
No, he came back. He had to do a second
No,
pit
yeah,
stop.
Who
yeah.
stopped? Was that not him that stopped?
I don't think so.
He
No,
came back
he-
in.
Huh.
came out.
Okay.
He was clearly class of the field.
He was super
Yeah.
fast.
So-
I wonder though because he was good in the beginning, but there are at a track like that there are cars that are better just like Richmond. You got when the sun sets, there are cars that come on stronger later. Would he have kept that speed later in the race?
I just feel like watching the race at Darlington and even working it, you're trying to encourage your driver the entire race not to screw up. It's not like you're like, man, go get this guy. You're like, hey, be careful.
Yeah,
trying to pass
every
this guy.
time he goes in the corner, like, please don't hit,
Yeah,
please don't hit.
racetrack. Please don't hit the wall.
Yeah.
Like, let's be aggressive getting on the pit road at Darlington. No, that's probably not a good idea. Like, there's nowhere that you see that racetrack
What could
and
go
you're
wrong,
like,
Tyler?
You're like, attack, attack, attack. It's the opposite. It's like, hey, let's play defense here. Let's not do nothing stupid and take ourselves out of the race. And when you look at guys that had problems, I mean, obviously Denny's was pit crew related, but Kevin, he and his spotter screwed up. I mean, if they didn't see that light was red, that's their fault.
Well, I can tell you this: from where we're at,
It's a hard light.
You
to
can't see when that nose hits the line if the light's red or not.
Yeah.
You can't barely see the line from where I spot from.
Yeah, same thing here.
And I actually tweeted that. Like, that is one of the most challenging spotter stands. It has things that block your vision, and you're on top of each other like freaking salmon piled in a can.
Out of four is
Whatever that stuff's called. Sardines, not salmon.
Salmon in a can.
Packed like salmon.
Old bumblebee tuna over here.
Well, y'all did have bees. We have bees and salmon.
Yeah.
But it's just a track that you can't be aggressive.
Well, I might have considered this for back-to-back wooden idiots for Bubba, but like at the end of the first stage, we started in the back, or started 20th, not the back, I guess. Drove up to about 10th, about 11th or 12th. Bubba kind of slid through the box a little bit and ended up on top of the hose. We had a slow pit stop. He went back to about 16th, 17th. Was driving back to the front again. Got to about, we crossed the line, one to go first stage. We're running 11th and 12th. And I said, no points on the line here. No reason to risk anything. And he drove down into turn 3 and got loose and chased it up into the 22. And then it was spinning out. And I was like, what the f***? Like, what are we doing?
How that kind of happened.
Like, and he, like, to his credit, he's like, I'm gonna get my head out of my ass now. I was like, I'd appreciate it. Like,
It's so easy to screw up there.
yeah. I mean, it's just you always hear, one of the things you always hear about that at that place is race to racetrack, and it's because of how challenging that place is, you know, and like that's what you do most of the time. Even if there are guys like at the end of the race there, you guys were hauling ass. Yeah, I mean, I know you pit on that last caution.
Yeah,
but like at that point,
we were getting faster as the night went on.
And
It was a little upsetting to me watching how fast the car is going through the corners, though, because I do know how that racetrack
it's so
heats tires, but these cars are they are ripping through the
you
center.
can see
that makes passing almost not.
Well, and you could actually see, I'm sure TJ noticed this too, like during the day it was almost easier to pass because guys are slipping and sliding around a little bit more. At nighttime, it seemed like everybody kind of was the same speed, or it was much more difficult to pass at night because the temperature dropped down, the track gained grip, and now you're really hauling ass, and then it became a little bit harder to make your way through traffic.
Tyler mentioned this in his interview, and he said that him and Kyle realized that the faster they go faster after they hit the wall. And even Larson said that in his interview as well, like, finally we have a next-gen car that allows me to hit the wall. I mean, is that a good thing or a bad thing if it's somebody besides, I guess, a dirt racer like Kyle? And
I don't think you can hit it. I mean, you can hit it, but I think we've all learned a little bit, and I think they've learned how hard they can hit the wall and get away with it, because you can still get yourself in trouble. I mean, you can still bend stuff if you hit it hard enough. We had a few guys that did do that.
Yeah, I think Bell, right? I mean, Bell bent the toe link, I think.
Yeah, Joey. I think the 9 did as well. So if they can hit it and get away with it, that's good for them, but I don't think you can make a habit of it. You know, those guys are just that good at running the top. They can, with that camera that I saw or microphone on Reddick's car that I saw, you could hear, I mean, it's so close to the wall, and he would hit it and scrape it and keep on going, but that's the game. That's the price that you pay. Is it worth it? Like, we practice. Brad wouldn't get close to the wall in practice, and we were probably a tenth or two slower than what we could have ran. But he's like, I'm not risking it. There's no sense in me getting up there. In the race, when I have to do it, I'll be doing it. But other than that, even whenever so we came down and made a stop, and we came in off.
That's Brad, the team owner, by the way, because he's like,
well,
I don't want my guys having to work on my car and tear my car up.
He's kind of always been like that. But even we come to pit road, and we kind of turned down really late when the track was still pretty dirty, and he got the tires pretty dirty, and he slid through the stall a little bit again, and it's because we were entering where normally nobody had really done yet, and that kind of set us back a little bit. But we were able to get back up there. But you can't. It's hard to. You just want to not make any mistakes. And even when he had that, as soon as he had that problem, he comes out there and he's like, all right, well, don't worry about it. We're just going to keep racing this racetrack. We're going to take what's given. We're going to race this racetrack and see, get back up there. And that's what we did. You take advantage of when somebody I can get a little bit more out of this. I can get a little bit more. Oh, there's the line, and then you take that spot.
Well, lap for lap, you guys were really the only fast 14. I mean, y'all were constantly in the top 10. Obviously,
I feel like
finished well.
I think the 17 and us were fairly equal.
Busher was right. Yeah, I felt
That's
like
what I said. Your team, your
team,
your
okay.
organization.
Okay.
Like y'all were the only ones up there. The Penske
4 was
cars.
fast.
Penske
4 was
cars.
fast.
4 was
Four
really
was fast.
Yeah.
But Penske was.
And like I seen people like somebody tweeted at me about we need to change that rule. There should be a yellow light. I'm like, no.
There's already
they
something in place
made a
for
huge
it.
mistake by pitting. Like if they would have just they missed the line obviously, and it's hard. Like we talked about, hard to see. Kevin should know it. Like Kevin, if anybody should have seen it, it would have been Kevin because he knows as he's crossing the line that big red light is right there to his left. He should have seen it. But it was obviously very close. But at that point, if he just rolls through pit road, and I'd have to go back and look at SMT to know exactly where he would have came out.
Once again, though,
he would have only came out about. He would have still been in the top 10.
Still in the top 10. But once again, who screwed up to make that caution come out?
I don't think you can put on the
Tyler
spot
Reddick.
at all.
Yeah,
Once again.
the team.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
again, Tyler Reddick's the 45 team screwed up again.
Like he
could have easily been ass packed and ruined his
Correct.
day.
Yeah.
And he was not going to make pit road when he decided. I need to pit the force pit. Bro, you ain't making that.
Going back and listening to their audio, it was like pit if you can, and that's something you cannot tell Tyler Reddick
But knowing
because he's never going to be like, nah, I can't make it.
But
you know?
knowing that you have an issue,
Yeah.
like it's hard to see in that area, is that something that you guys work with your group on to
Well, we
change?
made a
That was just a late pit call. Like
Yeah.
it was a late. They probably knew the 4 was
we
saw
had
the
that
4
happen
was
once
coming.
earlier in the race, and I told Matt told me in the 3. We were going to the 3. He told me to, hey, if you can get him there, bring him. And I'm like, we're not making it.
Yeah.
The risk isn't worth the reward. I mean, at that point of the race, it was late then. I mean, he was going to be, he possibly could have got him out in front. I don't know. He was leading, right?
Yeah, Tyler was leading. Yeah.
Tyler
I
was
mean,
leading, and he saw Kevin pit in his mirror or whatever happened, and it was way too late.
He was trying to counter the
He
pitting
slammed
move.
on brakes, and how Ryan Newman didn't hit him in the ass, I have no idea.
I think he did.
Yeah,
but
I think he did.
But he
Actually, I
should have
think-
plowed him.
Yeah.
I think Newman wrecked himself to not wreck Tyler.
He did.
So Newman saved his day.
He after. Did you notice? I'm sure it was on TV, but did you see how many laps Tyler had to work to get around Newman?
Yes.
I don't know if he's ever encountered the Ryan Newman
He knows
passing a kidney
yes.
stone deal, but
Yeah.
he found it yesterday.
Which I don't
Or
blame.
Sunday.
I don't blame him. I mean, Newman could have ruined his race.
Yeah.
Like he
I
could have.
saw Andrew laughing. We used to have an old saying, Andrew, that it was easier to pass a kidney stone than pass Ryan Newman.
I was just gonna ask which
That
one's
was the
easier, but
saying.
it sounds
Yeah.
like
And you'd be like, here, well, we're catching kidney stone. Here we go. Good luck.
Yeah,
Good luck getting around him.
pretty much.
that's funny.
All right, well, let's not forget about our Westgate experience that's coming up next month. Join the host of Dale Jr. Download and Bumper Clear for a live show Friday, October 13th at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. I mean, I'm hearing there might be some additional guests coming on the show.
Well, I'm going to tell you what the big thing is. Mike Davis has worked on a script for this. Won't be like a typical podcast. It's going to be basically a show in Vegas, right? So the
We're
Shoe
gonna be
show?
dancing. We're gonna be dancing. We're
What?
doing
Fine show.
Oh, we are? We're doing pole dancing?
kick
Yes,
like we're gonna look like the
actually.
Rockettes up there.
Yeah, that's good. Man, I better
You know
stretch
how
my
awesome
hamstring.
that would be if you entered like that.
Guys, we're trying to.
Listen, tickets start at $100. VIP packages come with rooms, transportation to the racetrack, tickets to the show. Meet Dale Jr., get an autograph by Dale Jr., meet us. Like, there's all kinds of things that are offered here, and it's affordable. Like, you don't have to be at the racetrack. Westgate's got a phenomenal facility out there. They're big on Elvis in that hotel and resort, so it's definitely going to be something really, really cool and different. If you're a fan of our show, fan of Dale Jr. Download, fan of Dale Jr., you're going to want to be here for this.
No doubt. I mean, the value at these packages is ridiculous. Like I told you a couple weeks ago, my sister literally called me and she's like, "These prices, what's the catch? Like these prices aren't real, right?" And I was like, "There's no catch. These are just like people. You know, we've been working with Westgate here for a couple months now, and this is just people that love racing. They come to racetracks. You'll see, Westgate experiences at the racetrack. So just
The
jump on
mental
this deal.
images that people have right now.
Of us.
What was just said.
Brett, I promise you right now, if we sell this deal out, I will get Brett to clog on stage. Like, just
Guys, we're trying to sell tickets, okay?
What if they want to see his rash?
hopefully it's
Oh.
cleared
It
up
is
by
Vegas.
then.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I mean, that should really be the tagline of this upcoming event.
See Brett's rash in person.
There's a lot of people that leave
Not
Vegas
that.
with a rash.
Oh.
Brett is usually one of them.
Anyway, so Darlington.
Don't forget, yeah. Oh, well, for more information, just head to dirtymomedia.com/live.
/rash.
/live. Yeah. Nope. No.
Not
it's
rash.
Not /rash.
/live. And to see if you qualify for a VIP experience, call 800-435-0883.
Do y'all know anybody we can send pictures of these bikes to that can maybe identify?
Is there a doctor who listens to the show? Please send us a tweet.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably
You
need
got
that.
an issue. Like, there's
I-
a lot of them.
I know.
I have no words.
I'm glad it's on that arm.
Oh, for the sake of
Yeah,
everyone.
TJ, you should. He's wearing long sleeves though. Luckily.
Rub up on Freddie, man.
And this
Give him
is
a
why
hug.
they keep me over in the corner. For the sake of our listeners, let's move on to spot on, spot off. First topic, Parker Clearman says of Sam Mayer, I know he's won races, but he just does dumb stuff like this after Mayer spun him in the closing laps at Darlington. Spot on, spot off, TJ.
I'm spot off because I've seen Parker make a lot of them same decisions as well. Sam's learning, and Sam made a mistake, but you know I think Sam's had a pretty good rebound year from last year, and I just don't think everyone makes mistakes, and I do think Sam's made a few of them, but I do think Sam's learning, and I think Parker's made a lot of mistakes too.
Brett.
Tyler Reddick slowed down way more than Parker Klingerman did, and Ryan Newman did not pile
Still
drive
no
him in
N
the
in
ass.
Klingerman.
So when they went into 3, well, how do you say his name?
Klingerman. There's no N.
Klingerman?
Really?
However you want. What do you want to call him?
Parker.
Klingerman.
We'll just call him
Just
Parker.
keep going Klingerman.
What's
That's
the
fine.
movie that Parker was famous in?
Parker?
Yeah. Is it Spider-Man?
Peter
Peter
Parker.
Parker, yeah.
Peter
yes.
Parker. Yeah.
Not quite the
So
same.
Parker,
Jesus.
listen, Parker should be upset without a doubt. He had 2 things that bit him that day. Riley Herbst made it 3 wide at start.
You had a
finish.
lot of things that
I had a
bit
lot
you.
of things that bit me this weekend, but he had a couple things that man just literally took him out of this playoff. And I don't mean anything by this, but when you're Parker Klingerman, you can't afford to have an uphill battle this late in the playoff. I don't think, like in the regular season.
There's no ing.
You need because look who's behind him and look who he's racing. These are fully funded super team Xfinity
I know who
spin-offs.
was behind him. Sam.
Sam Mayer was right behind him, actually.
But when you look at racing Riley Herbst and Brandon Jones for that final spot, like the fact that Parker's even in that is a tribute to what that team's accomplished this year. So I'm spot on for what they've done as a team. Spot off for what Sam Mayer did on Saturday.
I have a confession to make. I might.
You want to
have-
turn the lights off and talk straight to the camera,
Yeah,
Freddie?
let's do that. I might have jinxed poor Parker because I put in my notes when they flashed up on the big screen, the current running order and the points, and I was like, I didn't realize that. I knew the cut line was pretty close. I knew there was some guys battling, but then I put in my notes like what you just said. Like Kligerman is outrunning Brandon Jones and Riley Herbst. And those are
He's been
those are
fast. He's
super
had
teams.
speed, yeah.
He's those are super teams of the Xfinity series, quote unquote. And he's in the playoffs, and they're not right now. And then it wasn't probably 20 laps later, he's backwards, and I'm like, oh shit, my bad. I should have deleted my note. But what I did think was funny was Hamlin was up there screaming. Kevin Hamlin spots for Sam, and he was up there screaming that their radios weren't working. And he couldn't hear him, or he was having a hard time hearing him. And then I think Sam referenced that and why he ran in the back of Parker, and I'm like, well, what does the one have to do with the other?
windshields don't need
if your
radios.
radios aren't working doesn't mean you can just run through the back of somebody. But where are they at now? Oh, it's only 1 point. Wow. So that'd be a good battle this week, the cutoff for them.
Yep.
So, yeah, that'll be a good race this week to watch. Hopefully, where are we going?
Kansas.
Kansas. Oof. It might be
Triple
hard for Parker to.
That ain't where I'd want to be going.
Speed, just raw
It's
speed.
It's hard to hide not being fast on a mile and a half.
Yeah. We talked about. I remember Elliott Sadler. We talked about this Elliott about where he was at. I forget where he ended up, and he said these cars just go faster. I was at this place. I think it was Roush. He said I had to drive my ass off to get to the top 5. He said over here, I don't drive as hard, and we're just faster. Good teams find speed, and that's just the product of money, resources, whatever it is. But Kligerman's gonna have to drive his ass off, and I promise you, the 98 and the 9 will have more speed than the 48 this week.
As they should.
Yeah.
Alex Bowman says, every time I race the 99, he does something dumb after the two get into each other, ending both of their nights. Brett.
Oh man, this was a really, really, really hard racing incident where Alex threw a block, and
Nice.
the second block that he threw got him wrecked. And I don't think he knew. He even said he didn't know that Daniel had gotten to his outside. It's a product. TJ may disagree with me here, but I think he'll agree. It's a product of how hard it is to pass. So you're fighting so hard to do everything you can to keep that guy behind you, because you know in 3 laps you won't see him again. He will not be in position to make that big run. Alex got off the corner bad. Daniel did have a big run. Those guys already don't like each other. And I think it's just a product of their relationship and Alex trying not to give up that spot. And look, none of these guys this particular wreck didn't take out any playoff drivers, thank goodness, because Kyle Busch did everybody a favor there and took out like 5 of them. But I think it's just, this is when race fans win, because they don't like each other. They're racing hard. I just hate the 21 got caught up in it.
He, for whatever reason, on that restart, we were starting outside of him basically, like we were a row behind him on the outside. And I guess my guys were scanning the 48 or I don't know how it came up, but they told me on the radio on Channel 2, Freddie, be watching for the 48. He says he's getting in a hole somewhere. He's making a hole somewhere to get in. Because the bottom, top was obviously preferred on restarts. The bottom it was probably worth sacrificing your road to take the top. So I was like, all right, whatever. So there was no hole to get up in front of us, obviously. So we get around him. Well, then this almost identical situation happened about 2 laps before this wreck. Alex didn't get a great run off of 4, and Ross was behind him, and Ross got a good run, and Alex threw a big block down the front on Ross, which didn't work. Ross still got around him. Then 2 laps later, you see this, and to Alex's credit, this is what we do now. Alex is really good at the end of a run, really, really, really good at the end of a run. So if you're the 48, what you're fighting for is to keep that guy behind you. If you can keep him behind you for 5 laps, in his mind, he's going to drive away from him eventually, and that's just that's a product of these cars. How, like you said, Brett, how hard it is to pass, and if you can hold the guy up for a couple laps, especially at a place like that where tire wear is so critical, you can eventually drive away from him if you've got a good long run car. And the problem is if you just say, well, let him go if your car's so good in the long run. Well, you can't pass, or you can, but you're gonna burn your stuff up trying to pass him. So Alex was doing what he had to do. It looked pretty bad. Did you get a hold of? Did you hear the screaming match that was going on the roof after that?
I thought I saw something. I looked over there, and
Who was screaming at who? Who started the screaming?
I don't think it was both.
They were both just. It was. I was in the crossfire of it. One was on my left, one was on my right, and they were screaming at each other. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't think Alex was.
Hamlin didn't throw a rib punch, did he?
Not again. Not yet. Not this time.
Not again?
He did it once in a K&N race.
I think. I don't know. I don't think Alex was trying to block a second time 100%. I think he was just naturally trying to get back to the wall after he threw the block, because that's how you're going to enter the corner. And Daniel, the part that I don't understand is the 99 never should have got wrecked in this wreck. He either could have lifted or done something different to still get the other guy and keep himself out of it. So I think that's the biggest, if you get out there and the guy comes up, what are you going to do? You're just going to turn left and you're going to get out of it. But
So you're saying Daniel might win? What an idiot for you.
I don't know. I got a better one.
Well, it's just.
But you're saying if you're going to wreck, you should not get in the wreck yourself if you can avoid it.
Yeah, I think
And he
it's
should have
real
turned
easy
left
right
and just
there.
hooked him.
Yeah, I mean, I would have. I mean, if the guy's coming up, and I'm not sure. That's a sketchy part of the track to try to get. Everyone some guys are lifting. That's why when it's nice sometimes when you get the guys that are experienced there, you get to the Kevin Harvick stuff. They don't race somebody down in the corner. They get you clear just after the start finish line, so you both get back up and you both move fast. The other guys think that lets you go right when you're turning off in the corner. They think I'll let you go thing, but man, it's so late that you've already adjusted your angle for the corner, the entry and everything. But I don't think obviously Alex didn't want to get past.
But you think Daniel mismanaged the situation?
I do. I think they both did a little to an extent, but I think Daniel, that car didn't have to be in it.
I think it's like the old saying, you cut your nose off to spite your face. It was a spiteful wreck. I know he's blocking you. I know. I mean, and we say that Daniel was out there. It wasn't like he was at his wheel. I mean, he was barely outside of his bumper and just hooked him. But like to TJ's point, you could have hung a left and just been done with it, or just lift. Like
think about this too, though. This has to be two of the most frustrated guys in the
100%.
entire race.
Yeah.
Because Daniel Suarez, he's not in the playoff. His teammate is. The 48 was leading the points when he got hurt, right? So, I mean, these guys have to be frustrated they're not in this playoff. And they're taking it out on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely.
I'm here for it.
And
I love
as
it.
the race goes on, later in the race, your give meter, you don't really have as much give at the end of that race. You're going to race a guy in the corner because you have to at that point. So
They're feeling more pressure than every driver that's in that playoff right now.
right now, probably, yeah.
Well, continuing on the topic of Darlington, Toyota cars led 307 of the 367 laps and only had 2 cars finish in the top 17. Spot off, Freddie.
Spot off, obviously. I mean, we were Toyotas yesterday were super fast. Like I said, we forfeited some track position a couple times and we're able to get back up into the top 10.
We all figured that going in, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
So.
they've been the best, the best manufacturer. I feel like on mile and a half all year. But that's one place where Denny excels. Denny's phenomenal there. I was surprised that Martin wasn't better yesterday. Even he
was garbage.
He got behind on he had a loose wheel at one point, got behind, but like he was just a non-factor all day.
I mean,
And
JGR, 18th, 21st, 23rd, and 25th.
yeah, but I mean the other guys were up front, like
Yeah.
the 20 and the 11
Bell
were
was-
leading.
yeah.
Bell, I think, hit the fence and messed his car up, and then obviously the 11 had its own issues, but the 11 was the class of the field. I felt like even the 54 was pretty quick. He got wrecked. I don't know what the got into Austin Cindric, but there's one restart. He just decided he was going to try to run wide open through 1 and 2, and so he was behind us.
I wondered how that started.
He was behind us, and like this was 2 laps before he wrecked. Just like pulls down and clears us through the middle of the corner, like we were parked. I was like, where's he? And then proceeded to drive directly into the 10 off of 2 because he obviously wasn't going to make the corner. He was going so fast through the middle. Almost wrecked the 10. Then 2 laps later, he does the same thing, does like Ross did in the first race, where he just throttled up, and I guess he was hoping the 54 was going to let him go, and the 54 didn't. But the 54 was pretty good also until that point. It's just unfortunate. We talk about it all the time. You got in the playoffs, you have to execute, and this was, and that's all facets. On the track, off the
To
pit
me,
road.
that's another pressure situation.
Yeah, and the thing I like, you talk about cutting the race, shortening the races, whatever, making them 300 miles. Like I love a race like this because that's how it plays out. Like if this is a 400-mile race, Denny Hamlin just goes ahead and dominates all day long, and it's over. But you see he has his issue, and then this is you have to execute the entire race. Denny dominated and has one mistake, and they're never to be heard from again. So it's unfortunate for them, but yeah, I was spot on for the speed we had anyway, and I hope we carried over to Kansas.
Southern 500, 83.8%
Yep.
said it was a good race. So there's 16.2% out there that probably don't deserve
They
a
were
phone.
sleeping. I don't know what
Yeah,
they were
they
doing.
don't deserve a phone. So if you voted no,
I think this was
Give your
more-
phone back.
This was more of a race. If you're a race fan that watches for the wrecks, this is not the type of race it was.
I
It was
would
more
like-
strategy.
I would like to see what the numbers would be if had Joey Logano won that race, because they're probably going to be about 60% good race at that point. I mean, it's just,
Because of who won?
yeah, it's
Oh,
always
that
swayed
definitely
like
sways
that.
it. Yeah.
100% swayed like that. You surprised?
But I don't know what I loved yesterday's race because I mean we
I
were
think
pitting,
it's-
we were pitting essentially every 30 laps,
Yeah.
like 30 35 laps.
Yeah.
That's just I mean then you've got and what the only thing that I missed about yesterday's race was the engineers and the pick the crew chief. We've all just come to the fact that it's a 2-stop strategy per stage.
I mean, you got
but
a
you
couple guys that might.
you used to see we didn't see anybody yesterday do a 1-stop strategy where you have the guys at some point you're blowing through the field, then at some point this other guy's blowing through the field. Like we didn't see
Yeah.
a lot of that yesterday because everybody kind of ran the same strategy. But that's one thing I missed about yesterday's race.
Freddie
Yeah.
got to meet my buddy Wyatt. He works at USC, and he wanted to go to the race. Chris Rice hooked him up, and he texted me after the race. He said, man, Darlington is a racing purist track. Nothing fancy, just a damn good track. Of the tracks I've been to, here's my ranking. Darlington 1, Talladega 2, Charlotte 3, Nashville 4, Bristol Dirt 5. Obviously, you can't compare Bristol Dirt to a Bristol night race, right? But that's just how I feel. Like, it's just a great racetrack.
Yeah, it's
What's
phenomenal.
challenging? The entry to 1 is about as wide as this table. how you get into the corner, which means there's going to, you guys get close on entry.
Unless you're Larson, you just drive in whatever lane you want.
Kinda. I mean, remember, how guys sometimes they drive down across the flat to get their cars turned. Now they're running up by the wall to get them turned. Some guys are down on the apron. There's just so many there's a lot of characteristics of the track that the drivers can use. Like a couple guys drive through 3 and 4 they look like they're pitting. They're so low, but then they come off the corner and somehow they make it work.
Make it, yeah.
The
Denny
3
was
car.
the first guy I remember entering high into 1, and this was years ago. And I was like, man, where's he going? And he's like, oh, that worked. And I remember Harvick using that really flat part of 3 and 4 at one point. And you're like, how's he running down there and making time? I mean, it's just a great racetrack.
There's just a lot of characteristics to it that doesn't make it easy. It's not the standard, kind of easy cookie cutter track. This place is tough. And the moment you put your guard down,
Yeah, bam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine, TJ, I know the answer to this one. Spot on, spot off. Both RFK cars finish in the top 10 at Darlington and are main title contenders for the championship.
I mean, I don't.
Chris Buescher 4th in points. Brett Keselowski 8th in points.
I mean, I'm
think
spot
they're-
on for the company. Obviously, I mean, I've lived it for the last 2 years. I'm spot on for it. But there's a lot of work still to be done, and it's nice to go to all these different types of tracks. I mean, super speedway, short track,
Michigan.
Michigan. Now at Darlington, and just have speed. It's speed, not just hit or miss. Like we're finding speed a lot more now, and it's nice to see like there at the end we decided to pit and take a shot at a different strategy. We were both top 4. I think Chris, we were 3rd and 4th, and I'm not so sure that if we don't line up behind Chris on that last restart, we don't shove him to the lead. I'm not going to put it past Brad to give Chris a good start there and get him out there. And if Chris gets the lead, I mean, he's proven that if he gets there, he can keep it. So, but yeah, it's great, spot on for the company. I'm not sure many saw it being as strong as this, but I've lived it, and I'm not surprised with the people that Brad's got there and the drivers, and as hard as everybody's working. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think that, I'm not, the way they've been running lately, nothing really surprised me with them because they've been, Chris won 3 ovals in a row, essentially. He won 3 out of 5 races, but before this, he won 3 ovals in a row, different types of races too. I think this week is the test for them. We'll see what this is, the true mile and a half where I feel like Fords have struggled the most this year, and we're going to see now like this is where the test comes in because you're going to have, you've got this race, you've got Texas, you've got Vegas coming up in the playoffs, and if they're going to have to perform at these mile and a halves, and I think I look back, you guys were like 17th and 19th in the first race there this year. You've obviously found some speed now, so hopefully that's going to carry over to here. But I feel like this week coming up, Rhett, is going to be the true test for the Fords.
I feel like, man, Chris Buescher has an opportunity here to become the new Matt Kenseth. Matt was a very quiet personality. He had a massive fan base behind him out of Wisconsin, and it's because he was a damn good race car driver. And Chris Buescher this year has proven not only can he be an Xfinity Series champion, he can get to the Cup Series and he can compete for wins. His lone win coming into this year was a fuel mileage win.
Pocono.
And now here he sits as one of the best guys with the most speed going into, obviously we're the middle of round 1, but he's 4th in points, the highest ranked Ford. He's the highest finishing Ford everywhere except road courses the last 4 out of the 6 weeks. So I just think a lot of speed. And again, am I surprised? Hell yeah. 10 out of 10, I'm surprised.
Compared to last year, I'm surprised. Not recent history, that doesn't surprise me. If you would have told me that they would be, knocking on the door, both cars probably knocking on the door, making the final 8, potentially the final 4, I would have told you you're crazy. So, if they can keep it up, I think that's where they're heading.
It's definitely trended a lot quicker.
I would love to see, this is me as a fan, not as anything else with, dogs that I've got in a fight. I'd love to see Chris Buescher go out and win Martinsville. Just be in that position where it locks him into Phoenix. Like, man, that would talk about a story.
I wouldn't mind it being
the other one.
And Brad's good at Martinsville.
This guy is Cinderella to the ball, and I'm here for it.
He is, and Chris. I've gotten to know Chris the last couple of years too. Great guy too, and great.
He's a blue collar guy.
100%.
He's got chickens at his house.
He's a strange guy. Like he, from what I don't know if it's
got
changed.
Starlink.
Like a couple years ago, I was talking to Mike Herman's one of my best friends. He spots for him, and Like Chris didn't have a television. Like he doesn't
At
know-
all?
At all.
Nothing.
Like nothing. Like he just.
I bet he's got one now. He's got a kid, so.
Oh yeah, probably.
But,
But like he, I don't know. I mean,
That's a country boy.
Yeah,
Give me a
Chris
blue
is-
collar country boy all day long.
Chris is, and he's, I mean, it's a phenomenal teammate. You know, him and Brad working together, they're, if one can help the other in any way, they do. You know, and
I remember being teammates with him, and I don't know him at all. But I remember being teammates with him when Elliott was there for that 1 year. Bubba was there, and Chris worked on his own cars. I mean, there's not a lot of the guys in the garage that can say they worked on their own cars. And I'm not talking about worked on it when something happened. I'm talking about showed up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and worked in the shop.
yeah. I mean, he obviously doesn't have to do that now, but no.
Well, they can't now because
Yeah,
they're too
they're-
busy with all
yeah.
the commitments they've got. Their sim, their training, different world for drivers. But nonetheless, huge respect for this guy.
I'm glad he's getting more coverage. You know that because he's earned it, and he's a great guy, great teammate, and I mean it's just fun working with him.
If you're a hard-working American and you love Ford, then you need to be a Chris Buescher fan. He doesn't have to be your favorite driver, but he needs to be on your radar.
There's no reason he shouldn't be. You know,
Yep.
on that list.
Yep.
There are probably not many people who would not cheer him on, knowing that he is like that Cinderella driver.
I've noticed in the last, it's definitely happened more in the last few weeks that it went from the Cinderella, or kind of like, oh, a really good run for you guys, good job, to,
For real.
yeah, what are you doing over there now? Oh, yeah, hey, that car's doing that.
Yeah.
You know, hey, penalize him, do something.
I used to use this example all the time, and I think I've talked about it on here. Like, and you see this changing now because he's running so good. Chris Buescher was the guy I used as an example of, like, you're talking about cheering and booing, and I always said, like, I'd rather have cheering or booing than be Chris Buescher, because when Chris Buescher gets announced, nobody does anything. They do, oh, all right, whatever. Now I saw it the other night. Like, there was, he got introed, and there was an
You heard a
ovation
difference.
for him. That's
Yeah.
so you just see how that people trend to, like, when you're running consistently fast like that, you're going to build a fan base up.
He got this job because Ricky was tearing up so much equipment. Jack Roush said, I got to put somebody in my cars that's not going to put us behind every single week, because you can't get faster when you're tearing up your cars. You're literally just
Yeah.
trying to get another car back out there. You can't work on the R&D and the innovation things that you got to work on.
Well, that's
So
what he did last year.
Chris
That's-
Buescher's been a big part of this evolution of speed.
Yeah, no, 100%. Him being that type of driver last year, like him and Brad are both very similar. Brad doesn't tear up a lot of stuff either, and those two doing that last year let everybody work on the cars and figure stuff out more. We weren't DNFing every race. And
Give
stuff.
me a Chris Buescher shirt. Hell, I feel like I'm in the president of fan club over
Christopher Buescher.
here. Yeah,
Christopher.
Well, moving on to a driver on the opposite end of the spectrum who definitely got some boos this weekend. Denny Hamlin signed a multi-year contract extension with Joe Gibbs Racing, and 2311 will remain with Toyota despite all those Ford rumors. Spot on, spot off, Freddie.
Spot on. I mean, what the hell was Gibbs waiting on? This guy's great. Now, I mean, obviously, phenomenal. Obviously, the rumors were true for sure. I mean, Ford was after 2311, I think, and I'm ultimately happy that we stayed at Toyota. Obviously, I think that we're just continue down the same path. It was hard to, you're thinking about it, and you're like, why would we do that? Why would we, like, right now we're essentially, JGR and 2311 are essentially the same. We're I mean, I guess we could be second tier, but we run the same cars, same stuff. So I'm like, if we go to Ford, like, Penske's always going to be the top dog at Ford. Then RFK is, they're probably the number 2 team right now. So you go over there, and then you find yourself in the mix of you can be the 3rd or 4th Ford team versus being the top Toyota team basically. So I'm very happy we're staying at Toyota. Obviously Denny, he belongs at JGR. I think I never really doubted the fact that he was going to leave, no matter how close it got. It just seemed like last year we got to the point where we were like, Kyle Busch is not going to be back at JGR. It just the bridges seemed like it was burned.
There were a lot more
just,
signs to that story.
It never seemed that way with Danny, and I'm glad it worked out.
That's exactly what I've got to say here. I mean, it's obvious that Denny Hamlin means more to Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota than Kyle Busch did, because they had an opportunity to keep Kyle, and they didn't.
tried. I mean,
How hard did they try? He had an opportunity
tried
to stay.
fairly hard, yeah.
I'm the one that told you he could have stayed last year on this show. I'm telling you though,
Always right.
when he didn't stay, You can't tell me that Joe Gibbs and Toyota couldn't have put more on the table to keep him.
Oh, yeah.
When he said, I've got a deal from you, and I don't want this one. I want another one. Well, they could have said, okay. They didn't do that. And I have a feeling, and look, I think it's the right feeling. I mean, Denny Hamlin is a Cup owner. Kyle was a Truck Series team owner. There is a big difference. There's a big difference in Toyota's 5-year plan with what Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan are doing. Oh, by the way, you got Michael Jordan Toyota. That's a way to Americanize your brand. I think it's great for Denny. I
Still
think it's
didn't
great for 2311. Listen, Toyota has the most speed right now. If they don't win this championship this year, it's their own fault because their cars are the fastest week in and week out. I know we talked about Ford winning some races there, but across the board, across the manufacturer board, nobody's faster than Toyota right now.
I'm spot on. I do think that they wanted to keep Kyle. I just think things happened. A lot of things happened. I think Denny probably handled it a little bit better as well and let things play out a little bit more and was more patient with it. I know Denny probably had a backup plan as well in case things didn't go as well, as he hoped for there. But it'd be hard not to see Denny in that car. So I kind of the longer it stretched out.
Look at that picture yesterday. I'm gonna rub you a little rub on you, give you some of
It's
this
like,
juices
get
off
away
my
from me.
bites. But like that picture yesterday of Joe and Denny that was going around, where Denny was this little bitty kid, Joe Gibbs, he's getting Joe Gibbs' autograph. Like, man, how do you not finish the story like that?
That's what I said. I think the communication between the sides was a lot better than maybe the other situation. I don't know, but I'm guessing because there was some animosity there, I guess, when you see them walk by, didn't even acknowledge. I mean, that's pretty serious, if that's happening. But
the Clemson quarterback did that last night to Dabo Swinney, and the first thing I thought about when he did it, Dabo's trying to give this guy a high five, and the quarterback snubs him. And I'm like, remember we talked about on this show Kyle Busch's reaction to Joe Gibbs trying to come up to him and talk to him, and he walked off. Like, that was a weird feeling.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We didn't really get any of that.
Clemson sucks, too, by the way. They got beat by Duke.
Did they get their ass kicked last night?
Oh,
Yeah.
bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
By Duke.
Awesome.
By Duke,
Yes.
yeah. That's all right. Carolina didn't do much better.
Carolina.
South Carolina got beat as well, but I didn't think we were going to be good. It's just nice to know Clemson sucks.
But Tennessee won, guys. Let's not forget that.
Who'd
Because
they
you
play?
grew up there.
Anyways,
Hey, and
Who'd
not
they,
to
who'd they
mention-
play?
looking at the
How do you know they won?
my uncle.
What was the score?
Shut up. Looking at
Name 2 players.
stop talking. Looking at
Peyton Manning.
Looking
No,
at
2
the,
players now.
Damn it!
Major
shut
Applewhite.
up. Looking
Big
at
fan over here. Casey Bowe. Good old Rocky Top. Casey don't know a player.
Casey, you got this.
I do, guys. I just need more coffee after listening to you guys for hours.
Mondays, am I right?
And it's hot. It's actually Tuesdays. Yes.
Need to leave earlier too.
Who
but
was
you're
what was the quarterback last year's name? What did it end in?
What I'm trying to ask
Hooker.
is open
His name was
Heath
Hooker.
Schuler.
open
You
seats.
can't say that.
Open seats right now in the Cup Series next year.
What? We were talking about Tennessee football. What'd you
Yeah.
say?
Open seats in the Cup Series
What about them?
for next year, knowing obviously Denny is back or will be staying. I mean,
I don't think there is any open seats.
I mean,
The
Eric,
10,
right, is
the
there-
10.
31.
I'm gonna go ahead
10,
and-
42.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
think
it's probably because
Kerry-
Is the 16 open? I don't think the 42's open.
well, AJ
I don't
said
think the
he's not
77's
sure.
open. I think the 16, 31.
21?
Nope.
Nope.
It's closed.
10.
10. Yeah.
10, 31, possibly 16 are open.
Yeah.
I've heard a pretty.
well, I mean,
I've heard
70,
one-
77. I don't know.
77's closed.
Okay.
I've heard one, which it's Hocevar. Like that's the
Yeah.
rumor anyway. That's
And he's solidifying why.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then you
With
got
runs like he had
the
yesterday.
42
Yep.
is going to be
Because
John
he came on
Hunter.
the show.
The 42 is
Good things happen.
90% of John Hunter. Oh, so yesterday, like Hocevar. The funny thing I saw was Hocevar did a phenomenal job yesterday. Qualified top 15, ran around the top 15. I think he finished 17th, maybe.
He got hosed at the
but-
end a
But
little
I
bit.
seen. Did you see who he was at war with? I watched one
Oh,
lap. They
yeah.
were trying to fucking wreck each
That's
other.
gonna
It
be
was-
interesting.
It was him and LaJoy. I'm like, oh, teammates
Yeah.
next year trying to get after
They
each
come
other
off of
right
turn
here.
2, and the 42 was almost all the way to the inside wall, and the 7 was on his right door. So
Listen, if all the things that Spire's working on comes together, they're going to be a lot different, a lot more competitive. And they've already made massive gains this year. I mean, we talk about it on here all the time. We make fun of teams that suck. I get it. But if you're trying to get better, we do lay off of you.
Yeah.
Right? And Spire has gotten tremendously better.
I think a lot of teams have made big,
yeah.
like they're actually going out and getting drivers that'll be like,
they
hey,
listen to us.
We talked about, you talk about the parity at the front of the field. The parity at the back of the field has also stepped up to where, like back in the day before this car, we would literally lap the Rick Ware cars and those guys Spire in
like nothing.
20 laps probably.
Yeah.
And now you don't, I mean, we still get to them. They're still not obviously they're still
Not like what
the
it was.
30th place car, but like,
No.
they're not slow. They're not in the
No.
way like they used to
Yeah,
be.
no.
And you see them battles back there. LaJoy runs top 20 most of the time, where he was. And we talk about, a 5-position jump back there is a big deal. Chris Rice was
yeah.
on here last week talking about, we were a 25th place car. Now we've found a little bit of speed, and that jumped us to 15th. Like you're not jumping from 25th to a top 5. Like you find something, you're just hoping to gain 5 spots on the grid or something like that. So
AJ was very competitive this weekend. I mean,
yeah,
he was a top
good.
12
Oh,
car.
we pissed
It's
him
so
off
hard to
numerous
find.
times.
You pissed him
Oh God, yeah. We chopped his nose off to start the race, which I don't know, but I was like, clear, still clear, get up, and we came across his nose, and then one time we did our old just dive into 3 and keep coming up till he has to lift, and I felt like he was probably trying. Then he raced the shit out of us the rest of the night, and I was like, he's pissed off. He'll get over it.
I think
He may not.
Well,
yeah,
found out.
you were going to do that to me, but Brad didn't really give you an option.
What was that? I thought they two raced each other pretty good. There was a couple, they
Brad
let
was,
each other
Brad
go.
was going to throttle up till you lifted on.
I don't even remember that. But I thought
But
Bubba
I mean-
and Brad raced there's one time we got underneath you, Brad let us go, then you
Yeah,
called
early
us
on,
back,
yeah.
and then
But
you,
at the end, though, when you have tires, you can't wait on.
Oh,
the guy.
no, hell no.
if you show the guy if you have tires and you show the guy that you're not willing to be forced, but if you go in there and say, hey, dude, I've got tires, I'm not lifting, you're going to lift, then the guy's
Yeah.
going to give it to you. But yeah, which is fun.
Let's move on to the EV. Sorry, Andrew. Let's move on
So
to
funny.
the DBC
I had to cue
A
Casey up.
main. No, I was looking at you because you were about to say something.
what were you
No,
gonna say,
no,
Andrew?
it's just I heard a silence. I'm like, Casey, this is your time to jump
Oh
in.
no, I was.
It's your
about-
time to shine, Casey.
She was actually Googling
She was-
Tennessee football
she was on the
to see
roster.
where Jalen Hyatt got drafted last year. I'm curious if you know what position he played.
Absolutely not. She knew who
Okay,
that
I
is.
actually did have something to say before we go to A
Exactly,
main.
you opened up.
She doesn't even know what position Jalen Hyatt
She don't
played.
even know Jalen Hyatt's a football player.
Speaking of,
Shut the. What
Don't,
did you say?
don't do it. Hey,
Shut
did Heath Schuler graduate yet?
She
You
has
guys,
no
I'm
idea.
so
You know
tired.
who
I
Philip
have not
Fulmer is by
slept
any
and You are being asked today.
You can knock the food out of Brett anytime you want.
Maybe that's what we're gonna add to our Westgate resort. People
Oh,
can get in line to punch.
Yeah.
Brett.
also, we're not sure if that necessarily covers you saying the curse
I mean,
word.
you can black it out if you want to. I
Food
mean,
is
food.
total.
I mean,
Well,
it
so
sounds
we
like
did
a noodle.
we did like an AI speech generator to see what the computer thinks, and half the time they think you're saying
Damn.
Kids,
AI.
kids
I
these
didn't want to
days, turn
say it
that
because
AI
I
off.
got to bleep it out now.
AI is getting smart.
Yeah, but yeah.
I will come up with something else. Just say dog food out of him.
Check out Actions Detrimental
Hey Siri,
because
what
Yeah, Joe
position
Gibbs
did
on the
Jalen
show.
Hyatt play?
I'm now taking donations. If anybody would like to punch Brett in the face, in
you might
Vegas.
want to wait until
Yeah.
those bug bites go away.
Yeah, I wouldn't
before
touch him if I was
anyone's-
you.
Yeah, I
We
would.
have gloves.
We're hugging it out later.
Yeah,
How about
you're
the
gonna
A
hug
main?
it.
Did the Outlaws run? What do you got? The
The
Outlaws,
Outlaws
run?
ran last night. Yeah, the Outlaws
Oh,
ran
I
last
seen
night.
I seen Sheldon had a really
Yeah.
good run on his
And,
birthday. Actually, I think he started 16th, 17th, and won,
Yeah,
which is
Logan
ridiculous in
Schuhart
dirt racing.
won.
Logan won last night, I think.
At Grays
So,
Harbor.
yep. They're way out west. So this is what's hard about the Outlaws. When
Man.
you go to watch it, you think if you turn it on around 9 o'clock, you're catching the feature. Not when they're in Washington.
Out west.
No,
I see when
not-
they were in Skagit. John's like, "Why do they run so late?" I'm like, "They're in Washington."
Yeah,
like,
dude.
there's
I
3
wish they
hours
would. I
behind.
wish they could move it a little bit.
The problem is you can't. Like, you
I
can't run
know,
during the day.
yeah.
So
Well, that's the same issue with when Chad goes out west. I don't know how to change this time frame thing, but can we fix it? Because I would like to watch these.
I don't
races.
think the time change is going to switch from us to Washington State, Casey. I think maybe there's a possibility
Just
of
make
getting
it
rid of
earlier.
moving the time, changing spring
make it
forward,
earlier.
fall back type thing. But I don't think we're ever going to match their time.
Are we getting rid of daylight savings at some point?
I heard there was like some bill trying to be passed for it because
what else
whatever.
happened? I seen I seen Jade won another Extreme
ran-
Outlaw race. I
ran
seen
well last night.
who
I think,
won that? I
too.
seen
Dom won.
Grant won the 100-lapper at DeCoin, I think.
That's surprising.
Yeah. Did DeCoin always have a wall? I seen an Arca wreck, and I thought that place didn't have a wall, or you couldn't really get to it. I don't remember there being
No, I
a wall out
remember
there.
Yeah, Jesse won.
I think
Jesse
the
Love.
Love
Yep.
Machine.
The Love
At
Machine.
DeCoin.
The Love
He win
Machine.
Arca race?
Yes,
What's he got?
did.
47 Arca wins? now?
9
Jesus.
this year.
This year. That's pretty impressive.
Just come on the
Yeah.
show, man. It's all it takes.
all you
Your
gotta do is come
career
on here.
spikes upward.
Just stay
Yep.
away from Brett.
Had a guy dirt track at Florence in the late mile race on Friday. He went off. in
Oh, I
turn
forgot you
one.
went there.
Oh, it
yeah.
was awesome.
I seen that. I forget his name. A guy drove straight off the racetrack.
Oh yeah,
Like-
he kind of got washed up a little bit, but then he thought there was still going to be grip up there, and I think he just drove it like it was.
and like
yeah.
stayed in the throttle and just.
Oh yeah, he went out of my view, and I was like, oh, I just kept watching for the trees to move, see if he got there. So
I will say, as while you watch Dirt Vision, it's pretty cool to see like door bumper clear is now available on Dirt Vision at the bottom of the screen. So
Nice.
don't forget to check out the show every Wednesday.
Can you believe we've had 7 months without an NFL game? Crazy, right? Well, it's a good thing that's over. The NFL is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer for Week 1.
This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game.
DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. Check the app to see what you get.
Download now and use code CLEAR to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5.
That's code CLEAR, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours.
Moving on to Reaction Theater.
By the way, they should always have a late model race in Florence like that leading
They
up
should
to
for that week.
I mean, they
because
need to
there
do
was a
more.
lot.
And they moved it, right? So it was.
It's supposed to be Wednesday, and they moved it to Friday because of the hurricane. But that's when it should be anyway.
It should be
because,
Friday.
Yeah, you got race fans showed up, and nobody
Everybody I talked to was at Florence.
knew. Well, it got out that day later on that once practice started at 10 o'clock in the morning, and people saw that 3 roll off the trailer with Dale Jr. in it. So a lot of fans started showing up, and I got called on. Tell me how you'd take this, Brett. I get called at 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. Hey, what are you doing on Friday?
Dale's still up.
Oh, he was up. And hey, what are you doing on Friday? Well, I'm just gonna work. Drive down to Darlington Friday night, get to the hotel, get up and go to the tracks. In the morning, and you can go early in the morning next day. But I don't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go. I just go down there the night before, and he's like, oh well, the late model race got moved from Wednesday to Friday. I think I'm gonna run it. I'm like, all right. He's like, you think you can go? He's like, yeah, I should be down there. I can get down there in the evening. He goes, all right, I'll pick you up at 6:15 in the morning. I'm like, what? What? Say that again? Like, all right then. So 6:15 in the morning on Friday.
We swinging by Lowe's on the way out of here today.
Yeah. I'm not telling that story.
Oh,
Is it against you or against somebody
It's
else?
not against him.
No. Somebody
No.
tear something up real bad.
Oh no! Well, that too. Oh my gosh! I forgot that this happened. Thank goodness, like Pops or somebody wasn't there because they were jacking the right side of the car up, and it fell off the jack, and it destroyed the whole right door.
Wow.
And luckily, we were having to fix some mechanical issue with something. But when they were doing that, the whole right door was.
That's what happens when you let the spotter work on their car.
I'm not. Hey, be nice to him.
Did you drop the jack?
I was on the roof, man.
Oh, maybe it was a second spotter.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Did you get told it was me?
No.
Okay,
I
good.
know who it was. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
So what do you got to
Yeah.
go to Lowe's to get? Just tell us
Well,
what you got to go get. You don't have to tell us. who it's for.
Apparently, he wants me to go get those new grill cleaners that like the fire department sells. Those ones that have that pad on them and stuff, and they're supposed to be really durable. He wants me to use the Lowe's gift card to get those.
Wow. Is that why he was calling you when the show started? To remind you to go to Lowe's?
Probably. I'm gonna stop right now.
Why? It's not
Next
like he's
subject.
going to take the boat away from you.
Next subject, please.
Hey, boys. I've had a few beers here, and I've sat here and I've thought about this. It ain't the damn equipment over there at the Legacy Motor Club You had the damn vomit Comet, Noah Gregson. Every time that some bitch would get out of the car, he'd be throwing up, vomiting all of the vomit Comet. That's why they call him that. You put Carson Hoosavar, Hackavar, whatever the hell his name is. That some bitch run his damn guts out. Finished 20th, 17th, I don't know what the hell. Good job, Carson. Freddie, you suck.
Vomit comedy.
Wow.
Dude, the vomit comment. We got to remember
I'd
that.
make those shirts tomorrow if
God.
he's racing next year.
Doesn't matter if he's racing the vomit
Oh,
comment.
I've heard some really good nicknames for guys in the middle of the pack there. The vomit comment's pretty good. I've heard the mid-pack missile. That's been maybe that's Cindric now. Was he the mid-pack missile?
He looked like a missile going through 1 and 2 the other day.
The mid-pack missile.
You better be careful. Y'all gonna make Doug mad at you.
Doug knew. I looked down and I said, I
think
can't
that's in-
believe that didn't work.
TJ and Fred. TJ and Fred. Sometimes it's hard to tell who is more brain dead. Brett Griffin, you're the man. TJ, I don't think you really suck no more. Freddie, you do suck. All you got to do is go get Brad another championship. We'll love you again, TJ. Brett, come back full time. Love hearing you on the show. You always keep it real, tell it like it is. We love you.
That was
What did
funny.
he say? DJ
Brain-
and Fred are brain dead?
Yeah.
I felt pretty brain
These
dead.
guys are tough today. That's two tough guys.
That guy.
What song was that? Was that even actually? Was that a beat to a real
I thought
song?
we were getting. I thought it was going to be like the Sanford and Son theme for a second, but
Yeah.
I
like-
almost
I
thought
think it
like
was
the-
an original.
I thought it was like the Duke Boys for a
That
minute.
was an
too.
yeah, so that's just a made up beat. Like,
was an original.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
time, at least put it to something.
try a little bit harder.
Yeah, do better.
Sounded like he was driving too.
It sounded like
so it's
Brett.
like-
I think that was Brett,
Yeah.
actually.
I actually could see that.
One of you guys should call into Reaction Theater one week.
Mike
He did-
Davis said he
did it
was going to
before.
call in. Did
He's
he
done,
call
he's
in?
done it before.
Yeah,
You've
Brett's
called-
called
you've done it before?
Yes,
Well,
he's
Mike Davis
called
said
in.
he was going to call in this week
All right.
to
Mike-
gripe about me. So,
I don't think he did.
Oh,
okay, good.
bummer.
Of course he didn't.
He can. I mean, we can accept it later.
Well, he was mad because we were on a video call and I was on my boat. There were 16 people on this call, and I
Yeah,
turned
we're
my camera on.
FaceTiming?
And they're like, everybody just got speechless because I wasn't on camera. And I turned it on. Everybody at one time just stopped. And I'm like, I think they see me. And I'm like, thumbs up and it's smiling. I hold my beer up. And I'm
Oh,
like,
you know, like that one guy that sat down with the cleaner.
yeah. And Mike Davis is like,
Remember
you're,
during
you're an
COVID?
ass. I'm calling Reaction Theater right now.
Freddie,
Yes.
I gotta know. Maybe I've had a few too many banquets, but every time I see the 23 on TV tonight, it's like it's no longer door bumper clear. It's door clear. What the hell?
What the is he talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know if he's saying we're getting past or we're passing. I don't.
You mean you finished what? Seventh?
Seventh?
Yeah,
I mean,
so maybe you
I
There
don't-
was a struggle there at the start.
I don't know what he's talking about. Call back next week and please explain.
Yeah,
that
I don't
call.
understand.
I don't know what he's door clear. I don't. I get it. I
I
don't.
think
Brain-
he's saying
brain
you're running
dead.
people up into the wall, maybe.
I don't know. I have no idea what he's talking about. We did that to AJ one time. That was it.
Yeah. I mean,
Shame on you for being around cars.
I don't know what you were thinking.
I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know. Call me next week and we'll talk about it.
And we got a battle for the lead brewing up here at Darlington. It's getting really tight, really tight. But we're going to go ahead and go to commercial, and we'll show you a replay of how everything happened when we get back. And here we go.
Listen, this is for everybody in the world. I don't know how, if you know how this stuff works.
Yeah.
We have to have commercials.
Yeah, this isn't a
this
football
is
game.
On our podcasts, on TV, everything.
Like, if
you have to have commercials.
if
Like,
you
I get
like
it.
the race, you better like the commercial.
I get it. It's untimely sometimes, but like
And I give them credit. They have had more side by sides than they used to.
Way more.
Yes.
And it does suck. When I'm sitting at home and they go to commercial, it does suck.
But
Oh,
if
I-
you want racing
sure.
still on TV,
And it sucks even worse when they come back from commercial. While we were away at commercial, you missed this great moment.
Yeah.
I'll
It's
tell you,
like,
if you want the alternative, try to turn on ESPN right now down here in North
Son of a-
Carolina.
yeah.
Like, put on the Disney Channel right now in North Carolina and see how good that works out for you.
I
Like,
went to watch the Formula One race the other morning, and
Nah.
that didn't happen.
Nope. Well, don't forget, leave us an audio message 24/7. Our new number is 704-802-9572. We'll keep playing.
Good job
the
with that
best
number,
each.
Casey. You did really good right
I would have
there.
been like 7.
Yeah, Kevin.
0482.
Normally, Casey, you'd have been like 704.
2.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to learn like French for the next week. just
French?
To use some variation.
Fragile?
I did Spanish last week for
Oui.
Birch Gold. So
Bonjour.
moving on
Fragile.
to Ask DBC. You can use hashtag AskDBC, and Andrew will keep picking the best ones to answer.
Ooh.
This first one is from Kevin from VA.
Most
our
dedicated
good friend.
DBC guy there is.
Yup.
I love Kevin.
What would
Saw him yesterday.
you like to see in future technology to help you do your job more efficiently? I know the fan vision was a useful tool, and I agree that was very useful. What do you guys think?
Oh, TJ needs a catheter. No
I mean,
Oh, man.
Apparently
Yeah.
he needs a diaper too if he's
Shut up. That ain't my problem.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like
No, hold up. First of all, you're the one. That's your issue. You're the one here. There was a racetrack. What? Remember that time where Talladega? We all go down the stairs, use the bathroom under yellow or whatever. And Brett's in there, and he's.
I don't pee 14 times during a race. That's
Yeah.
before the race.
No, but you.
There's-
You like 75
I
times
have
a day.
irritable bowel syndrome
Irritable.
irritable.
since 6th grade.
You are an irritable.
When I
prick
saw that
sometimes.
story the other day, and I felt so bad for them people that got all over the plane,
What?
and they had
Oh,
to turn
yeah.
the plane around and come back, and I'm like,
wait, what?
Yeah,
Stop,
what happened?
Stop.
Are
Delta,
you paying attention to Brett's Twitter feed?
Delta
This is your
Airlines.
post.
No, I blocked him.
Delta Airlines flight is halfway to its location and it has to turn around and come back because somebody, quote, had diarrhea all over the plane and it's a biohazard.
Let me ask you a question.
The pilot said that.
If they're halfway, why'd they come back?
I don't know.
'Cause it's
I'm
the
just telling you what
same-
Twitter said. And I
Yeah,
just
why not
felt so
just
bad
keep
for
going to
that
your
person.
destination?
So then me and one of my
glass
media
half
friends
full.
were texting, and he was telling me a story about how he was in England one time, and he was running to the bathroom, and he got there, and he had to pay to poop.
What?
Pay to poop.
Oh yeah, that's all over Europe.
Okay, well, I've never been to Europe. Nor
Yeah.
am I going. Because I was like I would have had to jump the thing, and he sends me a picture of what he had to endure, and he was about to go in his pants.
I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah,
And he had to pay to poop.
I'd have paid. Brett, I got one. How about knock knock?
Who's there?
Europe.
Europe poop.
That's not nice of you.
TJ's so goofy.
What a dad joke.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys, for all of the content coming out of this week's TVC episode.
Back to Kevin's question.
What was his
Yeah.
question?
What could we use technology-wise? I think we've got everything we need now.
Bathrooms.
I mean,
Well, that's not true, man. I mean, listen, technology-wise, there are some spotter stands that could be better.
oh, for sure.
And I'm talking about location. I'm talking about structure. Obviously, we saw the North Wilkesboro debacle. Atlanta, I'm glad to hear you guys said they fixed it because
Yep.
that was borderline not great.
You know,
And Darlington, I mean, listen, that spotter stand, it needs some technology in it for sure. It's awesome that they've given us Wi-Fi everywhere we go because that's a big tool that we love to use from a lap time perspective. I mean, we went from our phones were banned on the roof to thankfully they realized we need them as a tool to do our jobs, especially with the fan visions going away. So, I mean, that's just an architecture technology thing, not
Yeah.
necessarily a tool. Like I don't know what else you guys would need.
I think technology-wise, maybe just stronger radios for us because with the much technology that's been added to the roof camera, well, not for us in general, we used to have a small handful of antennas up there, and now you look on a normal roof, there is a ton of stuff up there, and sometimes we've had communication issues because of the bubble, they call it. Everything's transmitting out of the same deal.
Yep.
And we've all used kind of the same radios.
But
Forever.
we've added radios. We were 2 radios, now
Yeah.
we're 4. That's a problem.
I mean, I only run 3, but you're right. Most people wear 4.
You don't listen to yourself?
No, I don't
Really?
do it. Yeah, I just don't do it. So, but still, everyone, you got 36 guys up there. That's 36 more radios. You got,
It's dirty. It's very
yeah,
dirty.
it's very congested up there.
Yeah.
But maybe looking back at this weekend, maybe there's something they can position a small green light or red light for pit road for
Yeah.
us up there.
There's no reason, and when you guys said, you couldn't see that light, there's no reason that should happen. You should
Yeah.
100. This goes back to when we used to do that timed group qualifying, and we couldn't even see the timer. How can we manage something we can't see? You have to be able to see the pit road's
Yeah,
closed.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the light, like, it's
Kind
just
of.
a split second. Like, if you're looking for it, it's harder to find there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know
It's
what
just-
makes it hard though is all the pit stalls have those lights in the back of them,
Yeah.
and you lose some of that stuff because they're shining at you.
It doesn't pop.
Yeah, it doesn't pop.
Yeah.
So
Wait, I want to go back to something you said, TJ, and Freddie, you reacted to it. Is there a fourth radio simply just so you can hear yourself talk?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
wear 4 radios. One is obviously talk to Bubba. One is to channel 2, talk to Booty without Bubba being able to hear us. And then I scan NASCAR and I listen to myself. This way I know. And like if you don't do it, like don't start because you can never
Yeah.
go back to not listening to yourself again because you feel so out of place. So I listen to myself mainly. Obviously, for one, to control the tone of my voice. Like sometimes I used to be able to like get pretty loud and screaming at some point. And then 2, you have a problem. So if I'm talking and I don't hear myself, I know that there's either a radio issue with my radio or that radio, and I can fix it before I have to be told like, hey, you're not working or you're breaking up or something. So
And this is where that came from. Is we used to wear 2 radios. We listen to NASCAR on one radio, and we talk to our team on one radio, and that was it. Then Channel 2 came to be. But what actually happened with that radio that Freddie's talking about is we had a few pilots that were also spotters. And when pilots are in their cockpit and they key up their button to talk, they can hear themselves in their own headset. So they know the control tower heard the communication. So when Joey Meyer was up there, Eddie Mason Cup was up there, and this is how much spotting has changed. I mean, Eddie Wood said, first year I was here, 1999, we put the dumbest person on the team, we give them a headset, we send them to the roof, and it was shot guys, and it was people that had never really done a lot in racing. So that's where that 4th radio came from. But to Freddie's point, I was in Phoenix. I had a problem. I keyed up to talk, and they said, Brett, your radio's messed up. Well, the only way to know if it's you is if you're listening to yourself. So I did. Sure enough, I changed the cable. It fixed it. The next week, I added that 4th radio to hear if I have a problem, and it helps you be able to do it. But it's just like us having these headphones in here. If we take them off and try to do this show, it completely changes what we're used to. And so if TJ were to ever start listening to himself, he would never go back because it does help you.
I actually did listen to myself.
Hated yourself that bad.
So I got used to it, and then I didn't. There was some issues that there wasn't. Most of my issues all came from being congested in the area, and I could hear myself fine. They're like, "Well, you're still breaking up here," and it didn't. I could hear myself fine. So, to me, I have a radio right there, ready to plug in to go if I need it, and that's what you. I mean, you're gonna switch anyway. Like if something goes wrong, what you're gonna do is just flip to the radio right there, or put your channel 2 on channel 1 for a little bit till you get a chance to get it all sorted out. But
there's no bigger panic than having a radio problem as a spotter, especially at a place where there's a restart or it's a super speedway. I mean, and when we see each other have problems, we jump in there and help each other. I mean, we're unplugging cords and throwing headsets.
We all know who's got the right equipment for what radio and stuff. Like I know Herm's got a suitcase, and I know he's got a headset and stuff.
He's got
in
a
there.
lot bigger than a suitcase. He's got an apartment.
Yeah,
he
I'm
carries
gonna go ahead
around
and tell you, if Herm put a bathroom and some water in that thing, I could probably live in it. Same thing with Drew.
Drew, I think they're competing with each other. Which Drew, was Drew there this week?
Yeah,
there was
did
a guy
you-
that looked
yeah.
like Drew. Drew's-
Hey, let me,
gotta-
I took a picture because it was so odd looking. I was like, dude, who's the new guy?
Well, Tony Hirschman flew with us the other week because he had to go from wherever we were, Daytona to Milwaukee. And Tony Hirschman travels with a 700-pound bag, just so you know.
Oh, really?
Drew looks cute shaved.
Clean shaved, the whole 19
I guess
team.
the whole 19 team shade
Worked out good for them. They ran their asses
They
off.
might want to. They might want to
They might
tape the
regret
beards
that.
back on.
Well, that's cute of them to all come up with that together.
Yeah, Drew looks like a
Did
newborn.
Martin shave too?
I don't know. I didn't see Martin.
I don't
Anybody see
know.
Martin?
All
shirts?
the crew guys got together and said, let's shave today, guys.
Yeah, did Martin?
They
shave?
said last year. Drew said they did it last year, and then like only 2 of the guys did it.
That's cute. This next one is from. This next one is from Kim, and I definitely think we should call this out. Jimmy Buffett. I mean, that was a hard one to.
I mean, I'm gonna
to
be.
lose. What is your favorite Jimmy Buffett song?
To me, it's Margaritaville. I mean,
My
Classic.
favorite song is "Come Monday."
Yeah, it's a good one.
They're all great. I mean, he wrote it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just they're all great.
I think the most
Like
like
it's 5 o'clock
Son
all day
of a
yesterday.
son of a sailor.
I was actually just gonna mention that.
Pirates. What is it? Pirate
Pirate
40?
looking.
What the f*** is the name of that song?
I got it.
It's
Pirate looks at 40.
Yeah.
how-
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheeseburger in Paradise. It's hard.
yeah, that was probably in the
I mean,
second
he was
one
the
for
first
me.
concert I went to as a kid. My good family friend Rhonda took me, and
Were you a parrot head?
no, I wasn't like a full blown parrot head, but
Help me, Rhonda.
it still was. I don't know, man. I miss that guy. The music.
Yep. Well, I think almost everyone would have a memory, whether it be listening to a song. Or
I
going
drank
to
for
a
Jimmy all
concert.
weekend. I didn't drink
Yeah.
as much as
I was
Freddie
given.
did. but
I was given. I only drank one day though. I was.
again, I didn't drink as much as you did.
I was giving Tyler Courtney grief because we have a group text of the people we go on vacation with, and our buddy Brian is a huge Jimmy Buffett
Nice of
fan.
him to let Zeb win.
Yeah, and Tyler sends a text the morning he died. He's like, "Oh man, Jimmy Buffett died," and it's like 9 a.m. here, and Brian lives in Phoenix, and I'm like, "Way to ruin his day! It's 6 a.m. I mean, give the guy a chance to get a cup of coffee. I mean, gee, what the like?"
Oh, well, thank you, Kevin and Kim, for submitting your questions, as well as to everyone else. We'll keep picking some good ones. Moving on to What an Idiot. I think, TJ, you already said you had one.
I got a couple. I mean, obviously, I told Freddie, the guy that I guess he got the trailers mixed up.
Oh, my cousin. Yeah.
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 And
That's
yeah,
gonna be my one idiot for sure.
Yeah, I'll let Freddie do that one. My what an idiot's gonna be your buddy Derek.
Kraus.
Yeah.
What'd he do?
Well, apparently we run in this league together on Mondays, and we're in there getting ready to start. And Derek leaves. He says, "I have to go pick up." He literally keys up. Says, "I have to go pick up your buddy." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Freddie, like, I guess he said he sent you a link to an Uber or whatever. You couldn't get it or whatever, so he was your Uber. So Derek leaves the league race and goes to pick up Freddie and Megan. So
Well, I mean, good kid. I've been spotting for him since he's 8 years old, so he might as well help me out. He actually brought something up. He asked me to ask you about his buddy Riley. Did Riley wreck you last week or something?
Nah, it was a couple weeks ago, but yeah, Riley, he would be a what an idiot. When you race the Chili Bowl, you been to the Chili Bowl? You have, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that.
We don't remember any
Oh,
of it.
he
Well,
physically he was there. Mentally,
Yes.
it's
me, I was there the whole time.
I remember him going. So, you run the Chili Bowl.
me.
Everyone runs right on the bottom, and we're running the last. I'm leading the race, going to the last quarter, and next thing you know, there's a car on the access, the dirt ramp deal on the inside, and he ends up making contact. So that he's an idiot too. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, Derek, I appreciate Derek gave me a ride home last night. It was very nice.
hey,
of
the
him.
race was a
that
lot
was
cleaner.
that was at the Chili Bowl. That was Freddie taking a nap midday.
I was
Damn.
tired.
Y'all had a playoff shaving
Look
contest
at you.
too.
Holy
Look, I know.
shit, what happened to you? That's pre-beard Brett.
I know I was skinny and I
That's
didn't have
behind the
facial hair.
CBI hauler. or whatever. At the time, it was probably just
man.
Chad.
Jeez, oh
Billy
man,
and Chad were so mad.
Billy was as drunk as I was. How could he be mad? Anyway, my one idiot is my cousin Robbie, because he texted me yesterday that he was coming to the race, and I don't know if you guys do this, but every once in a while I won't save a number. Like I can have a conversation, I'll forget to save the number.
Yeah.
So I was not 1,000% sure that it was my cousin, but I was 98% sure it was my cousin. So I don't save the number. Well, he texted me yesterday. He coaches baseball at Lander. We were going to go down there last year.
that cousin. Yeah.
So he's like, I'm coming to the race. I'm like, oh, this is definitely Robbie. It makes sense. You know, he had texted me about. He said, when my dad died, he said, I'm sorry about Uncle Tom, yada yada. So he texted me, I'm at the track. I said, all right, cool. I said, I got meetings in the hauler. Same thing I told Wyatt yesterday. I said, I got meetings in the hauler from now till about 4:30. Then I'm going to be at the elevator behind the grandstands at 5. He said, well, I'm at the hauler. I said, oh, good. So I go out. I'm in the hauler. I'm inside my hauler. So I walk to the back door, and I'm looking, and I go, I don't see him. And the doors are blacked out, so you can see it. You can see out. They can't see in. And I'm looking, and I don't see him. And now I'm like, is this actually my cousin? And there's people back there, and I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I'm talking like this is not my cousin Robbie. This is somebody else. So like this one, I had the whole team in and out. Bubba's telling me, oh, text them and see if he answers. See if there's guys anybody picks up their phone. So I'm like, hey man, hang on a sec, I'll be right out. All right, now we're looking to see if anybody looks at their phone. There's one guy looking at his phone, but he's not. He texted something, but I didn't get a text. So now, like, the whole team is back there. So I'm like, this is a complete ordeal. We've got literally the 45 and the 23 teams out looking out the back door trying to figure out where my cousin is. And then finally, Wyatt showed up. So then I went out there and I'm like, I'm going to go out and talk to Brett's buddy Wyatt. I said, if anybody reacts to me going out there, then I'm going to know that I'm up and it's not my cousin. For 3 years I've been texting thinking it was my cousin.
Right.
And so I go back out there, talk to Wyatt. Nobody says anything. And as I'm talking to Wyatt, I'm like, I know what's happened here. So I text him back. I said, Robbie, are you at the race car hauler or the T-shirt hauler? This T-shirt. Jesus. I'm like, what the So the whole time I'm looking for him, he's out front at the T-shirt hauler, so I didn't see him until I got up to the elevator. But, yeah, what an idiot. Like, don't tell me you're at the hauler when you're at the souvenir trailer. Idiot.
Well, my what an idiot is going to be supported. It's already been mentioned here on the show, but it's going to be supported at least by people in the South that I know.
You know Riley?
We're sitting around Thursday night, and we're watching ESPN, and we're waiting on the first real big football game of the year to come on. And it's the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a big SEC guy, and I'm sitting here watching this game that's about to start, and right as kickoff was going to start, Spectrum TV cut off all ESPN channels in this entire area.
And Disney and
Killed them. Here's my thing. I am paying you a lot of money every month for my internet and my cable. It's a lot of money. I mean, it is to me.
It is expensive.
It's
TV's
expensive. I mean, it's $300 a month, right? Yeah. I mean, but I got probably 8 cable boxes. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff going on.
Probably get them good channels,
Regardless, get all the channels. Regardless, like, how do you not tell me that you're going to cut it off?
Like
so that
warning.
I know, hey, there's a problem. If I want to go watch this content, I need to go somewhere else. So Spectrum TV can off.
Here's the only thing I will say to that. I blame Disney more than I blame Spectrum.
But I pay Spectrum.
But you want to pay them more because that's what Disney's trying to do to Spectrum. They're trying to jack up the prices on Spectrum, so they're going to have to in turn make you pay more for your cable to get ESPN.
Yeah. I pay Spectrum. Spectrum owes me an explanation of we're about to cut this channel off.
They definitely should have. There should have been some kind of like, hey, at midnight tonight, this channel's going dark. But I mean, at the same time, Spectrum's playing the same hardball of, I know what your big draw is going to be this weekend, and here's what I'm going to.
I'm going to tell you who's losing in this battle, Spectrum.
Yeah. I wanted to call him and cancel. Like, because I know
I'm going to cancel.
I'm going to call him. Hey, because I'm not going to cancel, but I know they'll give me a better deal on some shit.
Oh, that's a given. Yeah, you do that all the time.
Hey, bud, you know
It's
what? I've
weird.
had enough of this. You know what? We'll just take $100 a month off your bill
Yeah.
for you.
I was a DirecTV subscriber for like 15 years, and then another guy signs up next to me and gets it for $100 cheaper a month.
I had somebody tweet at me going, "Oh, look, you're going to be complaining when your bill goes up." Probably not.
I wouldn't even
Yeah.
notice.
15. I don't even pay the cable bill. Okay, so I don't know how much it really costs, but it's a lot. But I don't really give a shit if it goes up. I just want ESPN.
I want to turn on the game and have it on there.
Yes.
But there probably are people that care if it goes up, though. That's the problem.
I get that, but Spectrum, regardless,
I'm not saying there shouldn't
the
be.
problem I have in this whole process is Spectrum not telling a paying customer. It would be like me
Yeah.
saying, TJ, I need you to spot the race for me today, and I expect you to be there, and then you don't show up. I'm paying you to be there, and you don't show up. You don't tell me, hey, I ain't going to make it.
I mean,
I'm pissed off.
I didn't notice.
What an idiot.
Every text I got this week is about Spectrum from Brett.
I feel like Joel.
Just
I'm
angry.
just on just one track mind.
hey, I will say that,
Joel's in a good mood these days.
Hey.
I think it's a new girlfriend. Maybe he's in a.
Listen, man, I took care of it this weekend. I know Joel was a little disappointed about the loops on the backstretch last week at Daytona. I made sure when the red came out, I told Brad no extra
The
loops back there.
the red came out. I said, TJ, I think your shit's on fire.
I was waiting for about 4 or 5 to just do a couple loops to see what's happened.
Joel spots Amarola. We think he might be retiring.
Hey, by the way, under the red, there was 5 or 6 cars that
Drove
moved.
up there.
That
I'm like,
drove
where
to
are
the-
these guys
that
going?
Drove up to the pack.
Well, guess what? That's because we let him. started it.
Here's the
they were
thing.
not on fire.
Here's the
actually.
thing that I seen some people talk about, like, you know, when we move, because we always move.
If you want to nitpick this stuff, it's going to get bad.
So, but like we always move if we're sitting somewhere just to not heat soak the brakes, and I accustom that to a red light. If you're at a red light, you can kind of creep. You know, you can move. You know, you can inch up a little bit, or you know, whatever. You can't drive through the red light though. That's illegal. Like you can move, but you
No,
can't.
you're
Like
getting a competitive advantage is what you're doing.
you got a competitive advantage because you put your fire out.
Yeah.
You think?
You think that was a competitive advantage? So at that red light, you're creeping up because you're drag racing the guy next door. You want that advantage.
All right, let's keep it rolling. What we got? Picks.
Yup, Brett, congratulations. You won with Larson.
Harvick. I thought I had you guys.
Denny was a sure pick
No.
until his supposed loose wheel. Going into Kansas, I'm struggling with my pick here.
Does anybody know where we finished? Oh, there it is up top. Gotcha.
I will take. Ooh, Bubba.
Ooh.
He won 2 years ago here.
We won last year here.
Was it last year? Hey, time flies when you're sitting on your ass every weekend, all right?
I think I'm next, right?
No, I think
Oh,
I
yeah.
am.
Okay, go ahead.
I will take Dennis Hamlin.
I don't know why I thought I picked before you, but that was going to be my pick. Man, you me.
You're welcome. Did I tell you guys my shoulders hurt?
I'll take Christopher Bell.
Martin Truex.
Oh, man.
You can't put a beard back, dude.
Yeah, you
Can I
might
change
want to
my
wait.
pick?
Nope.
Why?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, because we allow that.
I'm-
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
taking-
she's
I have
already let it
pickers.
do it once.
Yeah.
I have pickers remorse.
Nope. Too bad.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to shut you down on that one.
About time you did something right.
That's really nice. You say you got pickers more when you pick my car. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Casey.
What do you think we see in Kansas, honestly, from what you guys
Mile and a
are?
half racetrack.
Been
Bit of wind at the back.
There's a soccer stadium next door.
Yeah.
It's a badass soccer
Yard
stadium,
house is
too.
there.
Super nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Going to the Chiefs game, Lions game on Thursday.
Are you
I
going?
think.
I
Yeah.
know you were asking about it.
Yeah, I think we're going out. Going to go and check it out. And
Is old boy Ye going to be out there? Is Boyer going?
I'm sure he will. I don't
we're
know,
supposed
though.
to
Who
see him,
knows?
but we're a little worried about.
I wouldn't want to see him.
We're a little worried about, Clint's so casual with all his. Yeah, I got it covered. All yeah.
He's telling y'all he's got it covered.
I guarantee.
You better make sure you talk to somebody else that works for him. This got it covered.
Kate,
I've already showed you my email
call
or my
Casey.
message, and I showed you what I had already.
No, I didn't see your message. I wasn't paying attention. But I'm telling you, you better talk to his brother or whomever is on his payroll these days.
Yeah, that's
Because he has an old saying about himself, and I'm going to tell you what it is. I'll let you down. I've seen me do it. That's what Clint says about himself.
that's
Oh, well, maybe you got tickets.
that
then.
must be Casey. That had to be Casey
Yeah,
that sent
yeah.
that. Kansas, I think I'm hoping anyway. Toyota's got a super. They've been dominant here in the last 3
I
or 4
hope
races.
they can be dominant for 70% of the race
Again.
as long as it ends a little bit.
Hopefully we run well. I think I told Bubba I think 3 top 10s gets it done for us. We got one yesterday or Sunday. We can do it again this week. Then we're right now we're 1 point out. I think we can jump some more guys if we have another good run.
How quick does the groove move up?
Pretty much instantly, I would say.
I would say it's going to be fairly quick. Yeah, I mean, maybe when it gets, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be pretty quick, actually. I think it's going to be, you're not going to probably do it up in the front of the pack on restarts for a lap or so, probably a lap. But after that, you're going to be working the middle until you see somebody gain speed on the high side. If you're mid-pack and on a restart and the wall's already been run in, you're going to get up there.
Temps in the upper 80s Saturday. Sunday says cloudy 87. That'll definitely make you want to move up.
Oh, it's going to, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it was a night race, I think you might see a little bit more bottom stuff, but
Yeah.
pretty low wind, too, is from what I saw. Kansas is usually a very windy race, and it usually affects the entry to 3 a lot, but I saw maybe 4 to 7 miles an hour or something, which is pretty low for that area,
For sure.
which means we're going to roast Freddie.
Any good barbecue plans?
Ooh.
They got good barbecue.
Not really, because we race every night. Well, no, Saturday night we don't. That's Saturday day race. We'll be done pretty early, so maybe.
I'll be at Hooters.
We need Rocky to give us. Rocky used to always give us what? Jack Stack stuff?
If Freddie goes to Hooters, he's going to win. I'm just telling you. That's like his secret
Freddie, go to Hooters.
ingredient.
I would
That's
save
last
it.
year
I'll
I would
join
save
you.
it till you need it, man. Don't.
I will
that's
join
too
you.
early. Oh, I got
You're
Freddie.
coming?
Yeah.
All right.
You
It'll be
race
at-
at 2:15 local Saturday,
After
3:15
Yeah.
Eastern.
Yeah.
And then Sunday is a 2:15 start again.
Yep.
Local, 3:15 here.
Local.
You were
yeah.
with me at Hooters last year, I think.
Yeah.
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 It was a disaster, as always.
That's why you won.
No kidding. We're gonna do it. We're gonna try that theory out one more time. I have. We were making fun of Drew's beard. I'm kind of been on a little bit of a clipper rebellion because we've been running good, and I'm not cutting my hair until we get out of the playoffs. And
You grow a full-blown afro, too.
I look ridiculous.
Do I need to take
I look
like
ridiculous.
Let's see.
photos?
Oh, it ain't
each
long
week?
yet. When it gets
No,
long, it'll
not
look
yet.
easy. He's got great hair.
Tyler Mon looks homeless.
I told Tyler. I told Tyler
good
Tyler
Lord.
a month ago you need to
I
get
did
a
too.
haircut, and he still hasn't.
He
done
told
it.
me if we won a Daytona, I asked him if we won the race, if I could shave it, and he said yes. That was going to be my first thing I did after that race if we passed Chris at the end.
I seen Brand Lyons last night. Oh, I don't know if he remembers, but he said he was going to go down and do snow angels on the Crown Royal sign if they won last night, or Sunday night. So glad they didn't do that. He was
Any good spotter stand rumors yet?
not really.
I know a few. I don't know if you guys know.
I mean,
them.
I know a
Brett,
couple. I know a couple that are probably not going to be back, but I don't know who's replacing them.
Yeah.
There's always
All I'm
going to
say about spotter stand is this: I spent a lot of my career trying to make spotting a formidable job, and it's good to see the pay going in the direction that it is because you guys deserve.
I can't wait for my next contract.
You guys deserve. I mean, listen. When we asked Jason Schultz what he thought spotters should make, I thought he was in line with what we should make, and it's we're certainly not going to be there. But it's good to see the wage per person up there going up because there's some real dumbasses that'll stand up there and do that job for nothing.
For sure.
We can confirm that is not you.
You can confirm that it's not me. That would be accurate.
Well, he is a dumbass, but he's not going to.
I was a dumbass to start
with.
with that did it for nothing, but not now.
I mean, I think the first part might be accurate. But anyways, thank you all, as always, for listening. Don't forget to catch the show on Dirt Vision this Wednesday. Check out dirtymomedia.com/live for Westgate Resort event info. And be sure to like, comment, share the show. And
You just said share with a southern accent. I like that.
I'm spending
Share.
way too much time with you guys.
All right, we'll
Must
see
be
you.
that
Thanks.
Tennessee coming out in you.
See you after Kansas.
Thanks
Have a
to
great
Birch
week.
Gold.
We out. Holla.
Word.
Yeah, thank you, Birch Gold.
Yeah, thanks, Birch Gold.
989898. Text them. DBC.
9898.
We need to beat Denny. Denny's got the same thing. He's got to Denny to 9898. We got DBC to 989898.
Oh, we definitely need to beat Denny.
Beat Denny.
Yeah.
DBC, guys, don't forget.
See ya.